Hello, Soul Family, and welcome back to Soul Moon's Rising Tarot. If you are new here, my name is Jennifer. Today we are going to be doing Ethony's 31 Days of Tarot Challenge. Now, I am a little late to the party, so this is going to be days 1 through 7, and then in a couple of days you'll get 8 through 14, and I'm going to be doing these weekly from here on out. So let's get started. Her very first prompt for the 2021 hashtag 31 Days of Tarot is 2020 reading, energy, and major lesson. For me, as for most of us, 2020 was a very trying year. However, it was a very positive year for me. Now, the reading that I got here is 7 of Pentacles, the 10 of Pentacles, and the 5 of Wands. So what this says to me is I started something in 2020 that is going to be very fruitful. At the beginning of 2020, I got it going and, you know, it was beautiful and blossoming, but it didn't quite reach where I was hoping it would by the end of 2020. And this is the 9 of Pentacles, not the 10 of Pentacles. But it was a lot of work, definitely a lot of work, but I kept going, I kept striving, and I think that was the big lesson for me in 2020 was to keep pushing through the hard times, keep working towards what makes you happy, and eventually you will get there. So that was my 2020 energy reading and my major lesson for last year. I'm ready for 2021. How about you guys? So prompt number 2, the top 5 tarot decks of 2020, the ones you purchased or that were released in 2020. So I did a lot more purchasing in 2020 than I had in 2019. So I do have 5 decks to show you guys, okay? So my top 5 decks in no particular order. The Nightmare Before Christmas deck. This was so fun. I enjoyed using this one October through December. Nightmare Before Christmas is one of my favorite Christmas Halloween movies, especially from when I was a kid. So I love this deck. It was awesome. It's super easy to read. And they're just really fun. Really fun cards, great imagery. Now, deck number 2 from my favorite tarot artist. This is the Star Child Tarot by Danielle Knoll. I absolutely am in love with her artwork, and this deck is no different. So this was one that I absolutely had to have, and I use it mostly for personal readings because it does feel very intimate with me. Deck number 3 is the Lightseers Tarot. You guys probably see this one a lot on my live streams. I love this deck, and I'm definitely happy with the purchase on this one. And the sister deck to go along with it, the Muse Tarot. She, again, beautiful artwork, and I love the energy of this deck. And last but not least, one I just added to my collection in December, the Dark Mansion Tarot. So most of you have probably seen this on other people's channels, but this was one that I needed for my collection. I love the artwork. It's gorgeous. And to me, tarot is a work of art. So it was one that I wanted to add. Now, my top 5 Oracle decks for 2020. This one was a little bit more difficult because I do use a lot of Oracle decks. I tend to use them a little bit more than tarot, but I did narrow it down. So 3 of my top 5 decks are, again, Danielle Knoll decks, probably because she is my favorite artist. So we've got the the Work Your Light Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. Danielle Knoll is the artist. We have the Starseed Oracle, again, Rebecca Campbell and Danielle Knoll. We have the Yogic Path, which you guys I'm sure have seen a ton as well, by Sahara Rose and Danielle Knoll. And we have the Soul Truth. I love this deck. This deck, we've had some some good times during live streams and personally. This one is by Brienne Hovey. Love this deck. Tends to call you out, so you want to be careful with that one. And last but not least of my Oracle decks is also a fairly new one to my collection. This is the Personal Power deck by Deja Druitt. I love the mirror on there. I think it's so awesome. So those are my top 5 Oracle decks for 2020. Now, prompt number 4, I have a little bit of hard time with. So the top 5 tarot books for 2020. I only actually purchased 1 tarot book for 2020, and that was the Danielle Knoll book. Let me grab it. Stand by. Okay, I'm back. This is the Danielle Knoll, the Book of Tarot. As you can see, I have it all tabbed. I actually put the tabs in there for my daughter because I'm helping her learn tarot, and it's just a reference for her. But I love how she describes everything, the messages in the cards, questions to ask, and so on and so forth in this book. Plus, look, it's shiny. But this goes with this deck. They go hand in hand. You can see they're even the same color scheme. But I love this book. It's very well written. It's got full color pictures in it. So if you are just learning tarot, this is a great book to add to your collection. Unfortunately, that's the only tarot book that I actually bought this year, other than the books that came with the decks. So only one. Sorry, guys. Now, number 5. Number 5 is the card that stalked you in 2020. The card that has stalked me since I began learning tarot is the same card every single year. And his message has changed over the years, but it is the Hermit. Now, this particular Hermit is out of the Sacred Bee Tarot, but to me, this last year, the Hermit has reminded me to come outside my shell and to step into that teacher role. That is the Hermit. He is the guru. And while I don't feel like a guru myself, I don't say I'm a guru. I do have things that people can learn that I've gone through, and it's time for me to share those things. So the Hermit has always been a gentle reminder throughout 2020 that it's time for me to keep moving forward in my teaching role and sharing those experiences that other people can learn from. Now, when I first started learning tarot, the Hermit was my you need to get out and do stuff more card. So he has evolved over time, but we have a very loving relationship, the Hermit and I. Now, prompt number 6, the deck you finally crossed off your wish list in 2020. Super easy. That was the Dark Mansions Tarot. It was added and crossed off in 2020. My list grew more in 2020 than it did probably any other year that I have been doing tarot, but this is one that I saw and I had to track it down. I finally found where it was at and promptly purchased it. So this is one I had wanted the second I saw the first person using it, and now it is part of my collection, and so I can use it for all of you guys in the live streams. Last but not least for today's prompts. Number 7, most worked with tarot deck in 2020 and why. This super duper easy. Definitely my Lightseers Tarot. This deck is so versatile for me. The energy is very flowing and accepting. This deck will take any type of question. And so this is the deck that goes with me places. I actually took it to Kentucky with me when I went to see family. This deck I use on every live stream, and it's really a good, gentle, but truthful deck, and I love the energy that this one has. So that's all I have for you today. If you guys are also tarot readers and you have not started Ethony's 31 Days of Tarot, I will leave the link in the description, as well as Astaria Sen's first video, because she's the one I saw starting doing it, and I love Summer. So I love you, Summer. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next one.